Welcome back to Pregame.com's coverage of the 2011 Belmont Stakes. We're going to look in this video at the Preakness winner, Shackleford. Shackleford ran an impressive race in the Preakness as he upset Kentucky Derby winner, Animal Kingdom. Shackleford was impressive going wire to wire, and he had a blistering opening first quarter in that race of 22 and change, one of the fastest in 25 years in the Preakness. What he did do, though, in that race is the horse was very rateable. And when I say rateable, this is a situation where the jockey is able to get the horse and take his foot off the gas pedal. Sometimes when you get a horse charged up to go to the front end, you can't rate him. He's uncontrollable. He wants to go faster. If you try to pull back on him, you can end up choking the horse whenever you're asking him to slow down. This is a horse that was very rateable. The jockey was able to slow him down in the second quarter and the third quarter of the race. It was those two quarters that gave him a big breather in the race that was enabling him to hold off the hard charge of Animal Kingdom in the Preakness. What I like about Shackleford is he has been consistent. You go back to the Derby, he was near the front end at the Derby running second most of the race, had the lead, came up short in the stretch as he got passed by three other horses to finish fourth. When you stop and think about it, the Kentucky Derby was a longer distance, but they went a much slower pace. In the Preakness, they went a faster first pace, but then slowed down the middle race, and he had enough to hold off the horse. But remember, the Preakness is the shortest of the three Triple Crown races. Where I see him having a problem today is stretching out to the 1.5 miles. This is something that these horses don't do on a regular basis. None of these horses have gone 1.5 miles. For Shackleford to go wire to wire in the Belmont, he is going to need a very slow tempo. Now, this has happened before where a horse has got out on the front end, and because the Belmont is such a long race, horses don't want to challenge early, and sometimes these front runners can try to steal a race by getting a big lead and then trying to sprint off in that last turn. Again, the Belmont, or as people call the track, Big Sandy, because of its deep sandy surface and its big sweeping turns, if you're on the lead and you're able to scoot away in that last turn, you've got to jump on the horses that are trying to come from behind and doing it wide, because they are big sweeping turns. Anytime a horse is outside, you're always traveling more ground, but on the wider turns, if you're 2, 3, or 4 deep, you're traveling even a further distance, giving the horse down at the rail a huge advantage. Those are the things that are working for Shackleford in this race. Is it enough for him to be able to hold off some of the other horses in this race? I don't think so. He's making his third race of the Triple Crown, obviously 3 races in a 5-week period of time. This is something that these horses are not accustomed to doing. And being a horse that has worked the entire races, both in the Preakness and the Kentucky Derby, as he was a front runner, I think it's going to start to take its toll on him in this race as they get to the stretch. Still, he's got to be considered on your exotics, exactas, trifectas, superfectas, because he can carry his distance a long way. You can't throw him completely off your ticket. I made the mistake of doing that in the Preakness, and it cost me. We previewed, when we did the Preakness, 6 horses that I felt had legitimate shots. I'll admit I did not have Shackleford anywhere on my tickets, but the next 6 horses that finished 2nd through 7th were the 6 horses that I previewed in the race. So frustrating that I left Shackleford off my ticket. I'll have him on my ticket on Saturday, but doesn't look like he'll be on top for me. Those are the strengths of Shackleford. He'll be a price, but he won't be a price like he was in the Preakness. He'll get a little more respect. The fact that you have the addition of Nero in this race will take some of the money that might have went to Shackleford, go towards the Nero side. So you still could get a decent price. But again, his win value, I really don't think that he can get this race and the distance, but you still got to consider him on your underneath exotic wagers. So that's what we've got for you on Shackleford. I'm going to come back in the next video. We're going to preview what I feel are the next 3 top contenders in the Belmont. We've got 2 horses that were not in the Preakness, and we've got an old standby that's raced in the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown. So we'll be right back with the other contenders.